Take a slow breath for a moment, and just notice where you are right now in your life. Maybe you have big dreams. Maybe you want more confidence, more success, more progress than you feel today. That quiet desire to grow, to become stronger, calmer, more focused, that feeling is something almost everyone shares. You've probably seen people who seem naturally disciplined, motivated, and unstoppable. The kind of people who keep going when things get hard. It can look like they were simply born that way, born confident, born brave, born with some special inner power. But here's the truth that changes everything: winners are not born. They are trained. A winner's mindset is not about talent, luck, or being perfect all the time. It's not about never failing or never feeling fear. It's about how you think, especially in the moments when things don't go your way. It's about how your mind reacts to pressure, mistakes, and self-doubt. And the best part? This is something you can train, step by step. Today, we're going to gently retrain the way your mind reacts to challenges, failure, pressure, and self-doubt. So what is a winner's mindset, really? It sounds powerful, maybe even intimidating, but the idea is actually simple and very human. A winner's mindset means you don't quit just because something feels hard. It means when you face failure, you don't see it as proof that you are not good enough. Instead, you see it as feedback, information that helps you adjust and try again in a smarter way. You believe that effort can change results, even if progress feels slow. You focus on improving step by step, rather than trying to be perfect all the time. And when pressure rises, you learn to stay calmer on the inside, even if your heart is beating fast. Here's something important to understand. Winners still feel fear. Winners still fail. Winners still have moments of doubt where they question themselves. The difference is not that their minds are always positive. The difference is how they respond to those thoughts and emotions when they appear. This is where your brain comes in. Your brain can be trained, just like a muscle. Every thought you repeat creates a pattern. And repeated patterns slowly become automatic reactions. Over time, the way you think during difficult moments becomes your mental habit. A winner's mindset is not a personality type you are born with. It is a trained mental habit you build on purpose. Let's start with the foundation of a winner's mindset: changing the way you see failure. Many people grow up with a quiet belief in the back of their minds: if I fail, it means I'm not good enough. So when they make a mistake, they feel embarrassed. When something doesn't work, they take it personally. To protect their ego and avoid that uncomfortable feeling, they stop trying new things. They avoid challenges. They play small, not because they lack ability, but because they're afraid of what failure might say about them. This is the losing mindset, not because the person is weak, but because their interpretation of failure stops their growth. Now let's gently shift that view. In a winner's mindset, failure is information. Mistakes are training. Losing is learning data. It's not a judgment about who you are, it's feedback about what happened. Think about athletes. Before they win championships, they lose many games. Each loss shows them where they are slow, where they are weak, where they need to adjust. Entrepreneurs often go through failed ideas and setbacks before building something successful. And if you've ever learned a language, you know fluency comes after thousands of mistakes, wrong sentences, and mispronounced words. Those mistakes aren't proof you can't learn. They are the path to learning. After any failure, instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," a winner asks different questions. What worked? What didn't work? What can I try differently next time? Here is the key mental shift: failure is not a stop sign. It is a direction sign, pointing you toward a better way forward. Now let's talk about something people often misunderstand: confidence. Most people believe confidence has to come first. They tell themselves, "I'll start when I feel ready. I'll try when I feel more confident." But that feeling rarely comes on its own. So they wait, and stay stuck. Winners think differently. They understand, "I'll feel confident after I start." Confidence is not a magical emotion that appears before action. It grows from proof. And proof comes from doing, especially doing small things that feel a little uncomfortable. Every time you complete a small challenge, your brain records it. Maybe you wake up when you said you would. Maybe you finish a task you wanted to avoid. Maybe you speak up even though you feel nervous. These small wins may not look impressive from the outside, but inside your brain, they are powerful evidence. Small wins build self-trust. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who can handle discomfort, someone who doesn't run away from effort. So start doing small hard things daily. Keep the promises you make to yourself, even the tiny ones. Finish what you start, even if it's just a short task. Every completed action sends a quiet signal to your brain: "I am someone who can do difficult things." Over time, your brain updates your identity, and real confidence begins to grow naturally from that new self-image. Now let's look at something that quietly shapes your entire life: your inner voice. All day long, there is a conversation happening in your mind. Comments, judgments, predictions. This internal dialogue influences how you feel, how you act, and whether you move forward or give up. In a losing mindset, the inner voice often sounds like this: "I can't do this. I always mess things up. Other people are better than me." These thoughts feel automatic and convincing, especially after a mistake or during pressure. A winner's mindset has a different tone. Not fake, not perfect, just stronger and more helpful. It sounds like, "This is hard, but I can learn. I'm improving. One step at a time." The situation may be the same, but the interpretation is different. Here's an important truth: you cannot stop negative thoughts from appearing. Your brain is designed to notice problems and risks. But you can choose which thoughts you repeat and strengthen. When a negative thought appears, first notice it. Don't panic. Don't fight it aggressively. Just recognize it: "Okay, my mind is saying I can't do this." Then gently replace it with a more realistic, supportive thought. For example, "I failed" can become "I'm still learning." "This is impossible" can become "This will take time and effort." You are not lying to yourself. You are choosing a thought that helps you grow instead of one that shuts you down. The goal is not fake positivity. The goal is supportive self-leadership, becoming the kind of inner voice that helps you keep going when things get tough. Another powerful shift in building a winner's mindset is learning to focus on progress, not comparison. Comparison can quietly destroy motivation. Today, it's easier than ever to look at other people's lives and feel behind. But what you usually see, especially on social media, is a highlight reel. You see the success, the confidence, the big results. You don't see the years of mistakes, failures, doubts, and slow improvement that happen behind the scenes. When you compare your beginning to someone else's middle, it will almost always feel unfair. And your brain may respond with discouragement instead of drive. Winners use a different standard. They don't measure themselves against other people's journeys. They compare themselves to their past self. The real question becomes, am I a little better than I was last month? Last week? Yesterday? This is the progress mindset. You start tracking small improvements. Maybe you focus longer than before. Maybe you recover faster after a mistake. Maybe you try again instead of quitting. These changes matter. And you allow yourself to feel proud of effort, not just big results. There's also a brain reason this works. Your brain stays motivated when it sees progress. Even small signs of improvement can release chemicals that boost motivation and reinforce positive habits. When you notice progress, your brain wants to keep going. Step by step, this focus on personal growth builds steady, lasting confidence. Finally, let's talk about mental resilience, because success is not just about skills or knowledge. It's about emotional strength. Resilience is the ability to stay steady during stress, failure, and long periods where results are slow or invisible. It's what helps you keep going when motivation drops, when plans fall apart, or when progress takes longer than you hoped. And life will test you. Things won't always go as planned. You'll put in effort and sometimes see little return at first. You'll face delays, setbacks, and unexpected problems. These moments are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are part of any meaningful journey. A winner's mindset responds differently in those moments. Instead of thinking, "I can't handle this," the inner response becomes, "This is uncomfortable, but I can handle it." That one shift builds incredible inner strength over time. You can train resilience on purpose. One way is by doing small uncomfortable things regularly. This could be taking a cold shower, finishing a tough workout, or pushing through a focused study session when you feel like quitting. Each time you stay instead of escaping, your tolerance for discomfort grows. Another part of resilience is learning to stay calmer when things go wrong. Pause. Breathe. Think before reacting. And practice patience, especially when results are slow. Remind yourself that growth often happens quietly before it becomes visible. Here's the key idea: resilience grows when you stop running from discomfort. Every time you face it and move forward anyway, your mind becomes stronger and more unshakable. Another powerful tool in a winner's mindset is visualization, a form of mental rehearsal that trains your brain before you even take action. Top performers in sports, business, and creative fields often use this technique. They imagine success before it happens, not as wishful thinking, but as practice for their mind. Visualization helps your brain recognize the steps, the effort, and the emotions involved in achieving a goal. Here's how to do it. Close your eyes and picture yourself in a challenging situation. See yourself working hard, staying calm under pressure, and pushing through difficulties. Imagine finishing strong, not skipping over the struggle, but feeling yourself overcome it. The important part is not just to imagine the result, the trophy, the promotion, or the finished project, but to imagine the effort, the persistence, and the small actions that lead there. Each time you do this, your brain starts to treat success as something familiar, something you know how to handle. Over time, visualization creates a mental map for your mind, making it easier to stay focused, confident, and steady when real challenges appear. The final step in building a winner's mindset is creating daily habits that support it. Mindset isn't something that appears overnight, it's built through the actions you take every single day. Start with simple, practical habits. Begin your day by tackling one difficult task first. Moving your body, whether through exercise, stretching, or a brisk walk, strengthens both discipline and focus. Commit to learning something new each day, even if it's small. And at night, take a quiet moment to reflect: what did I do well today? This isn't about perfection, it's about noticing progress and reinforcing your effort. Here's why these habits matter. Small, consistent actions gradually build a powerful sense of identity. When you see yourself as someone who follows through, who pushes through discomfort, and who learns daily, your identity shifts. And identity shapes mindset. Mindset guides your actions. And your actions, over time, determine your results. Winners are not extreme or flawless. They do not rely on bursts of motivation or rare moments of inspiration. What makes them strong is consistency, the small, repeated choices that reinforce their mindset day after day. By intentionally designing your daily habits, you train your mind to respond like a winner's mind naturally would, calm under pressure, focused on progress, and ready to face challenges with confidence. As we come to the end, remember this: a winner's mindset is not loud or flashy. It doesn't demand attention or prove itself in dramatic ways. It is quiet, steady, and patient. It grows slowly, through small, deliberate choices you make every day, choices that add up over time to real, lasting change. You don't need to transform your entire life today. You don't need to suddenly become fearless or perfect. What matters is taking one small step. Changing one thought. Taking one action. Responding differently to one moment of difficulty. Each small shift is a signal to your brain, a gentle push toward the person you want to become. Every time you notice your thoughts, your reactions, or your effort, you are training your mind to stay strong, focused, and resilient. Growth is quiet. Progress is often invisible at first. But it is real, and it compounds. So start gently, start steadily. And remember, winning begins the moment you stop giving up on yourself.